Hello everyone, this is MC Deck Discussions and I'm OhBSmall, and today we have another tournament gameplay. This will be Game 3, going up against Venom in this one. And I'm using Spider-Man Miles Morales again, so my second time using him, this time in Leadership. And let's go ahead and share the setup as usual. Why don't I just go ahead and say this part right up front. So I did lose twice with the deck. It had 43 cards in it. I pared it down to 41 for a little bit more efficiency. And then I was able to win twice after that. But there were still instances where if I got the wrong card at the wrong time, I very well could have lost either of those games. So definitely a little bad luck, and Venom could take this game easily. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and show the setup. I'll have timestamps as usual, so you can forward to wherever you'd like. And then after the setup, then I'll share the deck briefly. All right, so here, first of all, setup, put the bell tower environment into play, quiet side face up. So here it is, location and quiet. And then if there are at least 3 chime counters here, flip this card. And here's how we get those chime counters on there. Interrupt, when any amount of damage would be dealt to Venom by an attack, it has to specifically be an attack. That's important for the deck I built. You may place that many chime counters here instead. And then if we get at least 3, we would flip it over to the other side. And then, flip this over now. Make sure, am I ready? Yes, we got that part. All right, flip this over. Force interrupt, when Venom activates against you, move each face down boost card from your identity to Venom. If this stage is completed, the players lose the game. Note that we have 2 threat on here right off the bat. So here's how he can get those face down boost cards. First of all, he has toughness and steady. And then when revealed, search the encounter deck and discard pile for the tooth and nail side scheme and put it into play. Here's the tooth and nail side scheme. Has this response after Venom takes any amount of damage from an attack. Again, important wording for my deck. Remove an equal amount of threat from here. And then it also has the hazard icon on here. All right. And then here's the part where he can get those face down boost cards. Vengeance, forced response. After you attack and damage Venom with a card you control, place 1 face down boost card on your identity. I'm actually going to just put the boost cards out in play here because I only have 1 identity in this game as a solo player, so it's equivalent to just having the boost cards out. All right. And then, so that's the end of the side. Yeah, that's the end of the setup. So note the steady, right, that he does have here. That's important, especially against Miles Morales. All right, let's go share the deck real quickly now. All right, so this is called multi-diversal damage. And I will mention just briefly about the deck itself. So notice there are a ton of allies in here. So it is simultaneously a Web Warrior build and a strength and diversity build. So the Web Warriors themselves don't lend much diversity. So I have some other cards in here to add that diversity. But in addition to that, I have cards in here that can deal damage without it being an attack. So I'll describe all of that in my deck discussion video on this deck, but I wanted to put that out in front if you're wondering about, the mix of cards I have in here. All right, so for our allies, we have Adam Warlock, Deadpool, Ghost Spider, Maria Hill, Nick Fury, Spider Penny Parker, Spider-Man Hobie Brown, Spider-Man Peter Parker, Spider-Man Otto Octavius, Spider-Man 2099, Sunspot, and Vivian. And then for the events, we have Across the Spider-Verse, 3 copies of Make the Call, 2 copies of Strength in Diversity, 1 copy of Call for Backup for the player side scheme. For the resources, we have the usual doubles, but we also have 2 copies of the Power of Leadership. For the supports, we have added Web of Life and Destiny. And for the upgrades, we only have added Clarity of Purpose. All right, so there's the deck. Let's go start the gameplay. All right, real quickly, Miles has 4 recovery in the civilian trait, and he has this response: after you change this form, shuffle 1 Spider-Man card from your discard pile into your deck. I'm going to put a bunch of tokens on him, just because I seem to remember a little better to use that ability if I do so. All right, so let's draw our hand size, and let's see how we want to begin here. All right, I'm going to keep what I have here. I know it's not the most efficient setup. but I have other cards that I'm hoping to get afterwards, and I'm going to play Nick Fury right off the bat here and get plenty to set up for swing in, because I want to clear a tooth and nail right away with that hazard icon. All right, so let's go ahead and play Nick Fury right off the bat. So 1, 2, 3, 4 resources to play him, and then we'll have him draw 3 cards. Oh, I kept Web Shot by mistake. My bad. I meant to keep, hold on. I meant to keep swing in instead. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So I wanted swing in. All right, now we play Nick Fury, draw 3 cards. Okay, good. Let's flip over to our hero side, and then we will go ahead and play, let's play swing in, and then maybe hold on to Web Shot. Oh, I have to use, oh no, Genki Lee. Ooh, that's a tough choice there. But I think I'm going to keep Web Shot instead, just as protection in the next round, just in case. So yeah, let's play Genki Lee, which is a wild, which is important for playing in swing in, and double life. So now we're playing in swing in. Remove 4 threat from a scheme. So we're going to remove 4 threat from tooth and nail. There we go. It's down to 4. And if you paid for this card using a mental resource, which we did with the wild, resolve Spider-Man's spider camouflage ability. So his spider camouflage ability gives Spider-Man a tough status. Boom. And confuse the enemy. Note that he is not currently confused since he has steady, but having a confused counter is a good thing anyway. All right, now let's finish getting rid of these off of tooth and nail. So we're going to just remove threat directly from both of those. There we go. Got rid of tooth and nail right away. That's actually the first game where that happened. I'm hoping that's a sign of good things to come. All right, let's ready up and draw our hand size. And let's see. So not going to be a time I can get Spider-Man in. All right. But Web Shot might be good here. Okay, so going back to Venom's turn, add 1 threat to the main scheme. He's going to attack. For 2 plus this, we will defend with Nick Fury. And it adds no other, so 2 damage is enough to defeat him. And let's get our encounter card rather. Oh, okay, so he gets this right away. So he has 2 rage counters on here. So now we're angry. He gives him +1 ATK and 2 rage counters. So Venom's attacks gain overkill now. It has his force response. After Venom takes any amount of damage from an attack, remove 1 rage counter from here. So we do definitely want to try to do that very quickly. So any amount of damage from an attack. He does have to actually take the damage, which is important. So let's see how we want to make this happen. Okay, so first let's have Spider-Man attack and get rid of that tough status. All right, so again, he has to take damage. After Venom takes any amount of damage from an attack, remove 1 rage counter, and it has to be an attack. Okay. All right, so let's play 1 copy of Web Shot, and we want an energy resource. So we're going to use Strength and Diversity and Spider-Man to play Web Shot. And that's dealing 4 damage to an enemy. So it takes 1, 2, 3, 4 damage, 18 down to 14. He has his force response after you attack and damage Venom with a card you control. Place 1 face down boost card on your identity. Again, I said I'm just going to put the boost cards out here. And they'll always be at an angle to represent that it's a boost card. If you paid for this card using an energy resource, resolve Spider-Man's Venom Blast ability. So his Venom Blast ability do 2 damage to an enemy. So this is damage and is not an attack. So that just does 2 damage. Oh, that first part was an attack, so we are going to remove 1 of these counters from Now We're Angry. Okay. All right, and the rest of this, stun that enemy. So he's going to get a stun counter on him, and again, he is not yet actually stunned. Okay. And then we will go ahead and play Arachnobatics, which is an attack. So we'll use that card to pay for it. All right, so deal 2 damage to an enemy. If that enemy has a stun status card, and it does, deal 3 additional damage. If that enemy has a confused status card, deal 3 additional damage to it. So we're going to deal a total of 6, 7, 8 damage. Okay, I got a decision to make because that overkill doesn't matter right now. Oh, but the +1 ATK could matter if he gets 2 attacks. Yeah, that could matter. But we do have a tough status. He can't get Tooth and Nail is the only one that has for a boost card is, and we defeated it already, and it's the only one that has allows him to get, what is that called, piercing. So we're safe in that regard. But we're going to have a couple of boost cards here, but only one if we, Oh yeah, 2 of them wouldn't matter with our tough status. So I guess, Okay, I think what I'm going to do is this instead, even though I could get rid of this right now. With the bell tower, right, when any amount of damage would be dealt to Venom by an attack, you may place that many chime counters here instead. That's what I'm going to do. So this entire 8 damage I'm going to put on the bell tower. So 8 counters here, okay? And then it has at least 3 counters, so we're going to flip it over. And then the bell tower side says increase all damage Venom takes by 1. Notice that does not have to be an attack. And then if there are no chime counters here, flip this card. And then here's the forced interrupt that will remove chime counters. When Venom's attack would deal any amount of damage to an identity, remove that many chime counters from here. It is a forced interrupt. For each chime counter removed this way, prevent 1 of that damage. All right, so we're going to go with that instead. So it might not have been the best choice, especially since I could have done a ton of damage here. But I'd like to get set up in that situation right now. Okay, let's ready up and draw our hand size. Okay, note that he does not get another boost card in this particular case because I did not attack and damage Venom because the bell tower basically took that damage instead. So he doesn't get another boost card since I did not also damage Venom in this case. All right, so let's go ahead and add 1 threat to the main scheme. And then he's going to attack with 2, 3 with overkill. You are stunned. Well, that's too bad, but we might be able to get around that anyway. Okay. All right, because I want to get rid of this overkill thing. Let's see. When your hero, what was it? You're stunned, and we weren't already stunned, so we can ignore the rest. And then this boost card does nothing extra. So that entire amount of damage was, wait, I do need these back so I can see what the damage was. Okay, so these added no damage. So it was 3 damage. So that's going to remove 3 of these counters from here. So I take no damage. And so I keep my tough status. All right, and then get an encounter card. And we didn't take any damage because of the forced interrupt here. For each chime counter removed this way, right? When Venom's attack would deal any amount of damage to an identity, remove the chime counters here. For each chime counter removed this way, prevent 1 damage, remove 3 counters. All right, and here we go. Attached to the villain. And we have to pay 3 different resources to get rid of that. It's an amplify icon. All right, definitely want to take care of this threat now so that we can't possibly lose in 1 shot on the next turn. Swing in could help with that, but I think we're going to get Maria Hill in first, so let's do that right now. Okay, and then after Maria Hill enters play, each player draws a card. Okay. All right, let's see what we're going to do from there. Okay, so I don't forget, I'm going to have Spider-Man attack and get rid of his stun, or at least try to. All right, and then I do want to get rid of this, so if we get... Okay, interesting. Yeah, let's go ahead and normally I don't want to get Spider out, but I think we're just going to use these 1-cost cards here. So let's get Power Within in play. Okay, so this upgrade says hero response after your hero uses a basic power, discard Power Within, resolve Spider-Man's Venom Blast ability. So that could be really nice here. And then we're going to play Arachnobatics. Here we go. All right, so deal 2 damage to an enemy if that enemy has a stun status, and it does. Deal 3 additional damage, plus he has a confused status. Deal 3 additional damage, so that's 8 damage. Plus, he takes 1 extra damage due to the bell tower being in the ringing state. Wait. Yes, being in the ringing state. So it's actually going to be 9 damage altogether, bringing him down from 12 to 3. Okay. All right. And that was an attack, though, right? After you attack and damage Venom with the card you control, place 1 face-down boost card on your identity. So here's the boost card. And then Maria Hill will remove 2 threat from the main scheme. All right. Okay, looking good there. Okay, he's still not either confused or stunned officially. Let's see. All right, let's ready up and draw our hand size. Okay, Venom's turn. Add 1 threat to the main scheme. He's going to attack. And I'm thinking about defending here so that this bell tower doesn't lose all of its 5. Let's see, he's going to attack for 3. Well, he might lose it all anyway if these are big, even if I defend, and then I'd waste defending. So I'm not going to defend. All right. Okay, so that's going to be, once again, 2, 3, and then, wait, we had 2 boost cards out already, so I need a third? I don't remember. Let me back up. I'm going to pause and check. I'm hit the backspace and check to see that if I think I need a third one. No, I guess I don't, but I did attack and deal damage. So this Now We're Angry can go away, right? After Venom takes any amount of damage from an attack, remove 1 rage counter from here. So we remove a rage counter, and then now that gets discarded. So he doesn't have overkill any longer. All right, so that means I could actually protect my tough status if I wanted to. Let's see, what else is in my hand? Yeah, there's some decent reasons to want to just protect that for now. And let Maria Hill take the hit. Okay. What do you have, 28 cards left? Yeah, let's go ahead and take the hit here with Maria Hill. So he's attacking for 2, plus the Amplify makes 3. 4, remove 1 chime counter from the bell tower. Okay. And then 5, 6. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. 4 of that comes off the bell tower. Okay, that removes all. That's going to flip this card back over, right? If there are no chime counters, flip this card. Okay. All right, and then 2 more damage. That does go ahead and hit Maria Hill. Okay. And get an encounter card. And Common Criminal, which has Surge. Get another encounter card. The villain attacks you. Okay, so we still have our tough status. So now he gets 1 boost card. So 2, 3 damage plus the boost card, and we will let the tough status take that hit. 4, 5, and there we go. All right, back to our turn. Let's see what we want to do here. Venom Blast could get him stunned. So that would be nice to do that. So what I'm going to do is, all right, let's get our Web of Life and Destiny out. Put my little marker on here so I remember to use it. And then I'm going to play Spider-Man Hobie Brown. All right. Okay. And then I got a choice here to make. Do I defeat this guy? This Common Criminal, this gal. Let's have Hobie Brown remove 2 threat from the main scheme. And let's have Spider-Man. Let's have Spider-Man attack Common Criminal. And then we'll trigger Power Within, deal 2 damage to an enemy. So that'll deal 2 damage, which is not an attack. So that 2 damage here gets Venom down to 1 and does not trigger his Vengeance forced response. And then also stuns the enemy. So he is actually officially stunned now. All right. Okay, let's ready up and draw our hand size. Okay, add 1 threat to the main scheme. Venom tries to attack but cannot because it is stunned. That goes away. And then this common criminal does 1 damage to us, bring us down from 9 to 8, and then get an encounter card. And the villain schemes. So he's a scheming for 2 plus the amplify is 3 plus this boost card. Reveal this card, so that's not going to do anything to that. 1, 2, 3 threat. And we get rid of an advance. And then now we have this with 2 rage counters on it. So we want to be able to get rid of that as well. And then let's check here. So we have 1 advance in here. Let's check our treacheries. Just 1 advance and 1 biting retort, which if Venom is in his alter ego form, biting retort is the other one that can allow him to scheme again. And he has 2 of these biting retorts, I think. All right. So he has 2 other ways to possibly put threat on that scheme or end scheme. All right, let's see what we want to do here. Okay, I'm going to play Vivian to begin with. Let's see, wait. Is this the order I want to do things in? No, I'm going to attack with Spider-Man here. Miles Morales. So he's going to attack and deal 2 damage. Defeating this side here, right? So that takes care of Venom's stage 2, flipping him to stage 3. He gets a retaliate 1, okay? And then he has steady and toughness. Okay, and the rules change. It seems like all the time on that whole retaliate thing. I'll just say that he retaliated, and I'm down from 8 to 7. Okay. All right. Okay, so what else? He has steady still, and he has toughness. Okay, took care of all those. When revealed, place 2 face-down boost cards on each identity. All right, and then now his retribution, his force response is a little different. After you attack and damage Venom with a card you control, place 1 face-down boost card on your identity, 2 instead if this is the first attack this turn. So I'm assuming I need to put 2, because the response should happen now, 2 face-down boost cards. So that's 4 of them. I don't think I noticed it should work that way in my previous games, so that could be a mess. Okay. All right, but now let's go over to this force response. After Venom takes any amount of damage from an attack, remove 1 rage counter from here. So I will remove a rage counter. So I think I need to do that over because I'm actually not sure how many boost cards I should have out right now, because this is a force response. It shouldn't have occurred from when I, yeah. So I better back up. Okay, so I'm just going to show you guys me backing up and doing that again because I'm afraid that I messed up. Okay, all right. Okay, let's attack again and start over from the beginning. So attack for 2 damage, defeating him. Okay, yeah, because that's a force response, right? Yeah, because I did that, but it's a response, so it's going to happen after. So he was defeated. Okay, all right. Okay, so then the force response should occur here plus the reveal, right? So all of that. So I'll do the retaliate still. So 8 down to 7. Okay, place 2 face-down boost cards. Okay, so I must have done that correctly before. Okay, and then now the force response, that since this was the first attack this turn, I get 2 more boost cards. Okay, yeah, when I did on my practice plays, I just actually never noticed exactly the way that should work. I think I did it correctly. Please let me know if I didn't, because that's pretty brutal, actually. All right, now I'm going to go over to this force response. Okay? So after Venom takes any amount of damage from an attack, remove 1 rage counter from here. So we're going to remove a rage counter right now. All right. Okay, then now let's check on the order that I want to do the rest of this in. Okay, I'm going to attack with Spider-Man, Spider-Man Hobie Brown, and I'm going to do that on the common criminal and get rid of it, I think. Oh, I could always do that later. Oh, yeah, let's do that. So we're going to attack and defeat this common criminal. Oh, we want to get rid of some threat too. Oh, maybe that's not the wisest thing. Yeah, we better get rid of some threat. Yeah, let's remove 2 threat. There we go. So now he takes 2 consequential. He's defeated, and his interrupt occurs. When Spider-Man leaves play, discard the top 3 cards of the encounter deck. I'm actually going to put them out here so I can see all 3 of them, then I'll discard them from here, because it's too hard doing it the other way sometimes. Okay. All right. Deal damage to the villain equal to the number of boost icons discarded this way. So notice that's not an attack. Okay. All right. So it's 3, 4, 5. So there are 5 of those. So it deals 5 damage to Venom. So he's going to go from 20 down to 15. Okay. And unfortunately, I don't have the bell tower turned over right now to deal an extra point of damage, but that's still pretty good. Okay. So now I'll discard those cards. All right, and then Web of Life and Destiny is a response. Web Warrior just left play, so we're going to draw a card. Oh, that's interesting. What do we have in our discard pile? Let's see, allies. Okay, wow, we've got Spider-Man, we've got Nick Fury. Okay, we've got a lot of good choices now here. Oh, there's a particular card I'm hoping for, actually. So yeah, I'm going to get Nick Fury. I want to draw some cards. All right, so let's do this. Okay. Okay, so we're going to play Make the Call and spend 4 resources and get Nick Fury into play. There we go. And we're going to draw 3 cards. Okay, oh, and we get another Make the Call. Ooh, man, so many choices. Okay, I'm going to use Vivian to play Web Shooter. Put 3 counters on it, web counters on it. Okay, and then let's use that, one of those. Oops, went the wrong way. Use one of those to play Call for Backup. Okay. And then let's get Spider-Man Otto Octavius into play. Is that really what I want to do? Then I draw a card. Maybe not. No, let's use Make the Call to get Spider-Man Peter Parker into play instead. Okay, so I played 3 resources after playing Make the Call. And we'll grab, where are you? Spider-Man, here we go, Peter Parker. All right, now let's decide how we want to handle this. All right, I'm going to have Spider-Man thwart to remove 2 threat from Call for Backup, and ready with his ability here, response after Spider-Man attacks or thwarts, choose another Web Warrior character, ready that character. So I'm going to ready Spider-Man, our hero here. Okay, so now he's readied. And then I'm going to have Nick Fury remove the last threat from Call for Backup. Okay, and then Call for Backup. Each player may search their deck and discard pile for an ally and put it into play. I'm not sure where this ally is right now, so let's take a look in our discard pile first. Do I see it here? I do not see it here. Okay. So we will go into our deck. There it is, Spider-Man 2099. Shuffle the deck. All right, good. We do need to attack and get rid of this overkill for sure, so let's take care of that right now. So he's going to attack and deal 2 damage to Venom, bring it down from 15 to 13. We do get this forced response. We get this boost card here. And this forced response here, after Venom takes any amount of damage, remove a rage counter. And then so now his overkill is gone, which is super important. Okay. All right. And is it more important to get rid of the common criminal? I don't think so. I think I'm better off getting rid of some threat. So I'm going to remove 2 threat from this, and I'm going to ignore his response right now and not worry about that yet. So let's ready up and draw our hand size. Okay, all right, that looks pretty good. So let's go. Add 1 threat to the main scheme. Venom's going to attack. He has an Amplify plus all these, give him an extra boost card. So he has an Amplify and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boost cards. We're going to defend with Nick Fury. Okay. So that's going to be 3, 4, 5, 6. Resolve this card's when revealed ability. Remove 2 chime counters from the bell tower. There aren't any. If the bell tower is on its quiet side, take 1 damage. It is on its quiet side, right? Yes. So take 1 damage. So Spider-Man takes 1 damage down to 6. Okay. And I interrupt my counting. So let me just flip the rest over and reveal anything else like that. Remove 1 chime counter from the bell counter. Okay. Ignore that. Put an enraged symbiote into play with you. Okay. Put this enraged one. There we go. Flip this. 1 more. Oh, if this activation is an attack, take 2 indirect damage. That would bring us down to 4. It's getting dangerous. Okay, let's go down to 4. Oh, hold on. Let's put 1 on Nick Fury and then 1 on us. Okay. Let me undo those because I want to make sure I was at 6. Yes, I was at 6. Okay. So now I'm down to 5. All right. And then last one, put Enraged Symbiote into play, engage with you. Okay, so these suck. That's for sure. All right, now let's add up the total. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 total damage, all on Nick Fury. All right, so yeah, so that's a bummer because now these guys are dealing 2 damage each, and this one's dealing 1 damage, and we're down to 5. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is defend here with Spider-Man, okay? And he'll defend on the enraged symbiotes. So first, I'm gonna let this one deal 1 damage, 5 down to 4. This one's going to attack for 2. I'm going to defend. And then this one will attack for 2, and I'll just take that damage. So now we're down to 2. Okay. All right. And then he gets his encounter card, and it is a common criminal, which surges into Shadow of the Past. Oh my gosh. All right. So let's get our nemesis out. Okay, let's see. Do you have Quick Strike? Yes, a Stalwart. When revealed, if you are in alter ego form, give Prowler tough status. Okay, well, at least we don't have to do that. Okay, well, this game just changed around. I thought I was getting ready to win pretty soon. Reveal your set-aside Nemesis minion, and then also reveal your set-aside Nemesis side scheme and put it into play. So tracking prey, when revealed, if you are in alter ego form, place 1 acceleration token here. Okay, we can ignore that part, but still it comes with 4 threat to begin with. And then shuffle the rest into the deck. All right, so shuffle that up. Oops, I think I messed up. There we go, shuffle again just in case. All right, well, that was pretty terrible. Okay, all right, now we've got a ton to deal with. Let's see what we can do here. Yeah, we're gonna do that with Peter Parker. So he's going to come back to hand. Web of Life and Destiny triggers, drawing us another card. All right, then I'm going to use Clarity of Purpose to put a web shooter in. So let's get our 3 counters on that. Then we're going to use 2 of those counters. So 1 here, and 1 here, plus Jefferson Davis to play Spider-Man. So that was 2 wild plus physical. So we're using 3 different resources altogether. Okay. And then we will take Spider-Man and we will attack. We'll attack Prowler for 2. Okay. And we're going to ready Spider-Man 2099 with that. Then we're going to attack Prowler again for 2 with Spider-Man 2099, bring up to 4 damage. And then we can return Web War Ally in play to its owner's hand. Okay. And then Web of Life and Destiny triggers again, drawing us another card. All right, then I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use the Power of Leadership here. And Spider-Man 2099 to play across the Spider-Verse. All right, exhaust a Web Warrior card you control. We'll exhaust this one. And search your discard pile for a Web Warrior ally, put it into play. There we go, we'll put him into play. Okay, and then we can ignore the rest because we're not going to trigger the rest of that. All right. All right, then I'm going to go ahead and defeat, I'm going to attack and defeat Prowler. And I will use this ability again, putting Spider-Man back in hand and drawing a card with Web of Life and Destiny. That's super interesting. All right, then I can play Spider-Man Peter Parker again because I have 3 different resources because the Wild and the other 2. So we'll do those 3, play Spider-Man. And is it time to get rid of some of this? Yeah, we got to, no, we got to defeat this here. Let's attack and defeat Common Criminal. Readying Spider-Man 2099. And then that leaves this criminal here. I think I'm going to go for defeating Tracking Party instead. Now we can take random damage from Venom though. No, it feels like a waste, but we're going to defeat Common Criminal. So let's attack, deal a damage, 2 damage here. Let's attack with Spider-Man and defeat the Common Criminal. All right, yeah, we're just going to go with that. Okay, let's ready up. Draw our hand size. Okay, so maybe we can do something better this next time. Let's add 2 threat, right, because there's the acceleration icon here. So 2 threat to the main scheme. And Venom's going to attack. We were going to defend with, I'm going to defend with Spider-Man 2099. So he's taking 3 plus the amplify is 4, 5, 6 damage, defeating him. Web of Life Destiny triggers, drawing us a card. All right, and then 2 encounter cards here. We had gone through our deck, so that's why the other encounter card was out. Here's the first one, Villain Schemes. So that's 2, 3, 4. 4 to 8. And the next one, you cannot thwart this scheme. You cannot thwart this scheme. So allies should be able to, right? Alter ego action, spend 2 resources of any type, remove threat from this scheme equal to your alter ego's recovery. If your identity has the civilian trait, draw 1 card. Ooh, we have a web shot. We don't have the other one. But we have some potential here because we can get Nick Fury out. All right, so let's see what we can do. All right, let's get Nick Fury into play first. So I'm going to use one of these counters. Oops, wrong way. And I'll also use this one as well. So that's 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm going to use those web shots. Okay, we'll get Nick Fury into play, draw 3 cards. Okay. All right, let's get Maria Hill into play too. All right, and then after Maria Hill enters play, draw a card there too. There it is, swinging in. Okay, I wanted that card for sure. So what can I do? I need a mental to play that and have it do what I want it to do. Yeah, let's do that. So let's use Spider-Man and Spider, I think. Play swing in, so I did use a mental. Remove 4 threat from a scheme. I'm going to remove this scheme altogether, and then resolve your Spider-Man camouflage ability. So camouflage, he gets a tough status, and confuse the villain, and now he's fully confused. Yeah. All right, because he has a steady, but he has 2 of them now. All right. Now let's see. Okay, let's go ahead and remove 2 threat with Maria Hill. From this, yeah, so I can't thwart it, but the allies can. And then let's use Spider-Man to remove threats. Oh, he can't remove that threat. To remove threat from here, put that one back. Okay. And then Spider-Man, Peter Parker, remove the rest of this threat and ready Spider-Man with his ability. And then let's remove 2 more threat here and 2 more threat here, bringing this down to 2. Okay, and that's looking a lot better. All right. All right, let's keep both of these cards. They both have a good purpose here, so let's ready up. Draw our hand size and be ready for our next turn. Okay, Venom's turn now. Okay, Venom adds 1 threat to the main scheme here. He's confused. Well, no, We're on the hero side. Okay. He goes to attack. He has this amplify out still. So 3, 4. We're going to defend with Nick Fury. 5. Defeating Nick Fury. Encounter card. Enraged Symbiote with Guard and Patrol. So that seems like maybe not too bad. Let's see what we can do from here. Well, let's have Spider-Man attack and defeat Enraged Symbiote. Then we'll have Peter Parker attack. Let's see, how do I want to handle this? Hold on. Okay, I think I'm going to put some chime counters on here. So let's go ahead and attack with Spider-Man Peter Parker and deal 2 damage. But we will use this interrupt when any amount of damage would be dealt to Venom. By an attack, I can place the chime counters here instead. So we'll put 2 chime counters here. All right. So he does not take damage. Therefore, we don't get the 2 boost cards. Hopefully I didn't mess up on the 2 boost cards thing on a previous play. That's possible I did. There is a retaliate 1. So it is possible I messed up on a retaliate before too. Oh my gosh, I may have messed up on a retaliate. And he only has 2 hit points, so that can matter. Oh, I think I messed up on that. This entire second part. I think I'm going to have to replay this game. Okay, I'm going to play it out, and I'll just have to see in the recording if I have to redo it. Okay, all right. So I attacked for 2 damage. I do take retaliate damage, and so he goes down. With that retaliate damage, that means his response doesn't come into effect, huh? Yeah, I think that's true. Okay, draw a card. All right, I've got some decent choices here. Let's use Jefferson Davis to play Arachnobatics, dealing 2 damage plus 3 damage for the Confuse on here, so 5 damage. I'm going to put all of that on the bell tower. So that's going to be an additional 5 of these tokens. And now that's going to flip this over to the other side of the bell tower. That is an attack, so I'm going to take retaliate damage and removes my tough status, which may or may not have been gone before. All right, so what's next? All right, I'm going to use the web shooter plus Ghost Spider and Strength and Diversity to get Spider-Man Hobie Brown into play. He's going to remove 2 threat from the main scheme. And we're going to flip over to our alter ego side, and that allows us to use this ability to put a Spider-Man card back into the deck. And I think I'm going to go for Swing In. Shuffle the deck, but not this discard pile. All right, and let's ready up. And draw our hand size. Okay, Venom's turn. Add 1 threat to the main scheme. He's no longer confused. Get an encounter card. When revealed, Prowler attacks the player, etc. If that attack defeats a character or no attack was made this way, card gains Surge. Okay, so Surge. And Surge again, but when revealed, give the villain a face-down boost card. Okay, right, so we Surge that one. And we've got treat the bell tower's printed text box as if it were blank. So right now it's totally blank, okay. When revealed, remove each chime counter from the bell tower and flip it to its quiet side. Well, that stinks. All right. So after I finally did all that work, oops, didn't mean to get rid of that. Okay. So right now, though, the printed text box is blank on the bell tower. All right. And he has a boost card. So what in the world happened here? Oh, I never got rid of Spider-Man, which means I never drew a card. Okay. Well, I blew that. Pardon me. Okay, back to our turn. Let's heal up for 4. Back up to 6. Get over to our hero side. All right, I'm going to use double life to play Clarity of Purpose, and then I'll use Clarity of Purpose, which is going to deal a damage to Spider-Man. And then we'll also use Genki Lee to get swing in. Remove 4 threat from scheme. We'll remove the side scheme. And it does not have a win defeated. Right? And we used a mental resource for sure. So we can use the Spider-Man camouflage. So you give him Spider-Man a tough status. And put a confusion on the enemy who is not yet confused. All right. It looks like that's going to be it for now. Yeah, better keep the protection here for some defense. That just seems wise. So let's ready up, draw our hand size. Okay, that's not bad. Add 1 threat to the main scheme. He's going to attack for 3, 4, plus these 2 boost cards. We will defend with Maria Hill. Let's defend with Hobie Brown. Okay, and that's clear enough damage to defeat Hobie Brown. Okay, now let's top 3 cards in the encounter deck. Again, I'm going to put those top 3 cards out in play to count them, and then I'll discard from there. So 1, 2, 3, 3 points of damage. It is not attack damage. It goes from 13 down to 10. And we draw a card for Web of Life and Destiny. And then next, let's see, that was the attack, so he gets an encounter card. Oh, acceleration token just came out. He finished the deck. Oh, so anything goes again. Oh, okay, we got to defeat him quickly. Discard an upgrade or support you control. We will discard Clarity of Purpose. So probably good that we got that out. Otherwise, we would have lost Web of Life and Destiny. All right, so let's see what we can do here. We only need to do 10 damage. Let's see the allies we have. Nick Fury, let's see. But also Spider-Man, Peter Parker, Spider-Man 2099. Okay, lots of great choices. Yeah, I definitely want to draw some cards here. Let's see. Okay, I think victory is at hand here. We're going to get Nick Fury into play, so we'll pay 2, 3, 4, or play this card and pay that 4. Get Nick Fury into play. And then we'll use his ability here to deal 4 damage to an enemy. That's not an attack, so none of the forced responses occur. So it goes from 10 down to 6. 6, 6. There we go. All right. And then we can play Arachnobatics. And that'll deal 2 damage to an enemy, plus the confused status on there. So that'll be 5 damage. Bring him down to 1. And that is an attack, so we take the retaliate, getting rid of this tough. Okay. And then Maria Hill will remove 2 threat from the main scheme. And then same goes for Nick Fury, moving the rest. And then Spider-Man attacks, dealing the last point of damage, and that's game over. So it should be a perfect victory unless I made some mistakes with regard to the retaliate damage, and we'll find out when I watch the recording. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that play, if you get a chance to see it, because I didn't have to replay. All right, have a good one, everybody.